What up, YouTube? Oh, I'm not doing that. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Burnt Reynolds.
Hugh Blackman.
Yep, and today we're going to be talking about preferences and kind of how they differ from having standards in the dating scene. So, on that kind of preface, let's talk about preferences. What are preferences?
To me, the definition is just depending on when it comes to dating or whatever you're interested in, it just be based on your experiences you've had. For me, so because I've known guys that are black myself or African American, and they're into strictly white women. The reason behind it is usually because there's actual things that happened to you, trauma that led to that reason, to the preference. So for me, for the person I talked to, is because he was bullied a lot as a kid by his cousins. So they make fun of him being dark skinned and everything like that. So he ended up growing up not liking or being into black women. So now that's all he dates is white women, because he has this stigma, this little preconceived notion that this is how black women act, because that's all he was brought up in and that's all he was shown. So his environment then created this reality that he believes it is, even though I spoke to him about it and told him, hey, bro, it's not all women act like that. That's just, you're bullied. It happens to us. You get bullied, you deal with it, you get over it. If you don't get over it, get some help, get some counseling. So preferences usually come from experiences. So when someone has a preference for something, it's not because it came overnight or it just happens or I like what I like. No, it's because something has happened to you in your environment or your upbringing, and it led you to where you're at now.
I disagree there. I think preferences are kind of strictly based on I like what I like. It's like if you prefer to drink chocolate milk over regular milk, it's because you just like fucking chocolate milk better than regular milk. It's just, I look at it like this. In regards to people, human beings, if you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to them for whatever reason. And just because you are attracted to said person doesn't mean that the opposition is indeed bad. It's just that you prefer to do that. And I feel like there's a difference between preferences and then having standards. Because having standards, I just feel like it's what you bring to the relationship, what you bring to the table. You bring in, a good job, you're bringing security, you're bringing, being able to take care of the home, just different things like that. Whereas preferences is more on the aspect of what are you attracted to, what do you vibe or who do you vibe with, just things of that nature.
Yeah, I agree, because then you get into personality traits and other characteristics, just your dislikes or your likes, because some people aren't into certain types. Like some people don't like aggressive people. They just don't like that. It's just, it does something to them and it turns them off. Or some people are not into shy people because when they're quiet and reserved, then how do they have a so.
And some people like to be choked. It's crazy.
Spitting, there's all kinds of stuff. It's a dark world.
But how about this? So, does having preferences, does that make you prejudiced in a way? Because I've been in situations be like, okay, I like dating interracially. I'm not gonna say that I don't date black women, because I do. I still do. But I like dating interracially, and a lot of people see that and be like, well, you don't like dating black chicks. I'm just like, well, I just vibe a lot better with other cultures.
Exactly.
And it's not me being prejudiced. It's just kind of what I'm attracted to. Once again, it's the likes and dislikes. You can't tell me what to like and what I should like.
And in the same breath, we've got dating apps like the BLOK app. There's a Latino app. There's all these different apps for specific different groups.
And I'm on all of them.
And so if that's the case, if it's prejudice to have to be into interracial stuff, then what about the people who are strictly not looking to date outside the race? Because I've met people of all walks of life that are just, they don't want to go outside their race,
and that's fine.
And that's their preference. It shouldn't make them. Does that make them prejudice themselves though? It's contradicting in a way.
I put it like this, and this is more. So, I do like black women, but the black women that I am into prefer other type of dudes.
No, okay.
So it's you like what you like, and no one can tell you anything different than that. Okay, so I believe we touched on this a little bit earlier. So how much does attraction play a part in one's preferences? If you're talking strictly sex, then it's mandatory. I have to be sexually attracted to you in order to make this work. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is post-production, Burnt Reynolds here, and I just want to say that some dudes kind of don't care. You know, they have no standards, and therefore they have no preferences when it comes to their sexual relations with women, because I'll be honest, some dudes are just horn dogs, and that's unfortunate. Anyways, back to the video. Because if I'm not, then of course it's not going to work unless you've built up that history in relationship and you've grown, you've been married for 50 years, and yeah, happy for you guys. Yeah. But out the gate, you have to be attracted to someone. And in order to set that, your preferences, I feel like, are based a lot on attractiveness.
I agree. Just look at any time you want to build. If you're wanting to build from there, yes, we all base it off of what we see, but if the physical aspect, you can only go so long without the physical aspect of it. Somebody can have an amazing conversation, having a wonderful mind, and bring great qualities, financial stability, the security, any comfort, affection, everything you need. But if the physical, if you're not attracted to them physically, if you don't like to embrace or touch or anything like that, or you don't like being seen with them, there's a deeper issue. Then right. How do you continue to build off of that? If you're not saying you're ashamed, but you're just not into them, right? So how can you?
But the thing about preferences, I feel like preferences, they will change over time. You grow up, you start to prefer, at least hopefully, you start to prefer a lot more mature acting partners, if you will. Yeah. And you come to find out, because I know a few dudes who are, well, not even just African American, but they won't date African American women because they see the hood booger aspect of it. Yeah. And they believe that is how all black women act. So what they'll do is they'll go and date, say, a white chick. Yeah. And then the white chick will portray the same exact qualities. And then at that point, you got to realize that your preference changes, and it's not the race that was a thing. It's the actual actions and the things, the characters, the personalities behind it. So being able to decipher between what your actual preferences are versus what's being shown on the surface level is something that a lot of people they learn with experience.
And that is the only way you learn, is to bump your head, is to take this chance. Well, there are some red flags here when I'm dealing with this person. Well, I can go along with this journey and have an experience, or I can go ahead and sever it. So it is up to the individual at the end of the day. The red flags are always there, no matter what you say. Any previous relationship you're in, you can try to blame the other person, but at the end of the day, you got to take accountability. You were into them for whatever reason, and at the time it was your preference, or what you found things attractive about them, and as time went on, you found more and more things that you didn't like, or maybe over time they changed, or maybe the person that you eventually met was actually who they were.
Right.
You just couldn't see past it.
But what do you guys think? What are your preferences, and why are they your preferences? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll keep it civil. With that said, my name is Burnt Reynolds.
You Blackman.
Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, everybody.
Hit that notification bell. Do it. Do it now.
Yes. And we are out.
Howdy.